You've always known something was different about you. A quiet knowing, a whisper in your soul that refused to be silenced, even when the world around you screamed chaos. And now, here you are, standing at the edge of an abyss, not yours, but theirs. You watch as they put on a brave face, acting like everything is under control, but you see through the facade. Their entire world is collapsing around them, and you feel it. The weight of their crimes, their arrogance, their illusions crushing them all at once. This is your moment, chosen one. This is the first spark of your awakening, the undeniable sign that you were never meant to blend into the shadows. You were born to see, to know, to rise. Let's be clear. This isn't about gloating or revenge. This isn't about watching someone fall and feeling superior. No, this is about certainty, a bone-deep, unshakable certainty that the truth always finds its way to the surface, and you are the one chosen to bear witness. You feel it, don't you? That strange, steady calm in the storm. While they scramble to hold up their crumbling empire, you stand still, not with anger, not with satisfaction, but with a clarity that cuts through the noise like a blade. This is the first sign of your awakening. The ability to see beyond the masks, to pierce through the illusions, and to know, without a shadow of a doubt, that justice is unfolding exactly as it must. But how do you know this is your calling? How do you recognize the signs that you are, indeed, a chosen one? Start with this. Look at how you perceive the world around you. While others are distracted by the surface, by the smiles, the promises, the empty words, you see the cracks. You see the truth behind the brave face they wear, the desperation in their eyes as their lies unravel. This isn't just intuition. It's a gift, a high-frequency ability that sets you apart. To confirm this, practice self-observation. Ask yourself, do you feel a pull, a magnetic force, drawing you to situations where truth needs to be revealed? Do you sense the weight of others' illusions, even when they try to hide it? Write down these moments. Track them. You'll see a pattern emerge, a pattern that proves you were chosen to see what others cannot. Now, let's talk about the weight, the crushing weight of their crimes, their arrogance, their illusions. This isn't just a metaphor. It's a tangible energy, a vibrational shift you can feel in your core. Modern science tells us that everything is energy, and emotions like guilt, pride, and deceit carry a low, dense frequency. As a chosen one, your soul operates on a higher frequency, one attuned to truth and justice. When you witness their collapse, you're not just seeing it, you're feeling it. Their arrogance, once a shield, now becomes a boulder pressing down on their chest. Their crimes, once hidden, now pulse like a beacon, impossible to ignore. And their illusions, they shatter like glass under the pressure of reality. This is your first experience of their downfall, and it's a moment of profound awakening for you. It's not just their world collapsing. It's your world expanding, your purpose crystallizing. But here's the challenge. How do you process this moment without getting lost in the drama? How do you stay grounded in your mission, rather than being pulled into their chaos? This is where your journey from certainty to acceptance begins. In the beginning, you might feel a flicker of anger. How dare they deceive, manipulate, destroy, or perhaps a twinge of satisfaction. Finally, they're facing the consequences. But those emotions are fleeting, and they're not your truth. As a chosen one, your truth is certainty. You knew this was coming. You saw the signs long before the cameras flashed outside the courthouse, long before their brave face cracked under the weight of their lies. To move from certainty to acceptance, practice this. Breathe deeply, and with each exhale, release any attachment to their outcome. Their collapse is not your victory. It's their lesson. Your victory is in standing firm, in knowing your role, in accepting that you were chosen to witness, not to judge. Let's make this practical. To fully step into your identity as a chosen one, you need actionable steps to anchor your awakening. Start with grounding. Their collapse is chaotic, a whirlwind of low-frequency energy that can destabilize you if you're not careful. Each morning, stand barefoot on the earth. Grass, soil, sand, anything natural. Feel the ground beneath you, and visualize roots extending from your feet into the core of the planet. This connects you to the Earth's high-frequency energy, stabilizing your own vibration. Next, practice discernment. When you see their brave face on the news, their carefully curated lies crumbling, ask yourself, what is the truth here? Not the story they're telling, not the narrative the world is spinning, but the raw, unfiltered truth. Write it down. This sharpens your ability to see through illusions, a key trait of the chosen one. Finally, affirm your identity. Look in the mirror and say out loud, I am chosen to see. I am chosen to know. I am chosen to rise. Say it until you feel it in your bones. This moment, their collapse, your awakening, is not random. It's not a coincidence that you're here witnessing this. Science backs this up. The concept of synchronicity, first introduced by Carl Jung, suggests that meaningful coincidences are not accidents but part of a larger pattern. Spiritually, this is your soul contract, your mission as a chosen one unfolding in real time. You were placed here, at this exact moment, to see the brave face falter, to feel the weight of their crimes, to know the illusions are crumbling. But remember, this is just the beginning. This first experience is a spark, not the fire. Your journey as a chosen one is about to deepen, to expand, to challenge you in ways you can't yet imagine. For now, hold fast to this truth. You are not here by accident. You are here by design. You've seen it coming, haven't you? Behind closed doors, their entire world is collapsing, and you're standing there unshaken, while they scramble to hold the pieces together. The masks they wore in public, the smug grins, the dismissive laughs, the way they mocked you when you walked away, are slipping now. You warned them, didn't you? You spoke the truth, raw and unfiltered, and they scoffed, thinking their power, their arrogance, their illusions would shield them forever. But the universe doesn't bend to their will. It never did. And now, as the walls close in, as their allies turn their backs and the courtroom looms, you're not just a witness, you're a force. This is your moment, chosen one, to break through the obstacles they've thrown in your path and claim the power that's always been yours. Let's cut through the noise. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. Their collapse is loud. Flashing cameras, news anchors spitting out breaking headlines, handcuffs clicking shut. But it's happening behind closed doors where the real story unfolds. They're not invincible. They're desperate, clawing at the wreckage of their lives, and you feel it. The weight of their crimes pressing down, their arrogance cracking like brittle stone, their illusions dissolving into dust. You're in a world that doesn't understand you, surrounded by people who still buy the lies, who can't see what you see. But you don't need their validation. You never did. Your strength comes from within, from that unshakable knowing that the universe has handled it for you. This is your breakthrough, turning their chaos into your clarity. How do you stand tall when they're falling apart? First, recognize the battlefield. This isn't just a legal drama playing out on TV screens. It's a social gauntlet you've been navigating all along. They mocked you when you stepped away, laughed in your face when you dared to call out the truth. Now, their voices are silent, replaced by the sharp tones of reporters and the murmurs of a courtroom. People around you, friends, family, strangers, might still doubt you, might still cling to the illusion that those crumbling giants were untouchable. Don't waste your energy convincing them. Your job isn't to prove anything to anyone. Your job is to hold your ground. Stand firm in your truth, even when the air buzzes with confusion and disbelief. You're not here to fit in, you're here to rise above. Here's where the fight gets real. Their resignation is your fuel. Picture it. The gavel slams, the word guilty echoes, and they exhale, but it's not relief. It's defeat. The weight of their crimes, their arrogance, their illusions. It's crushing them now all at once. You feel that shift, don't you? That dense, heavy energy lifting from your shoulders as it settles on theirs. This is your chance to transform their downfall into your power. Step 1. Stop carrying their baggage. Their desperation, their vulnerability, it's not yours to fix. Release it. Close your eyes, take a breath, and imagine that weight sliding off you, sinking into the earth where it belongs. Step 2. Redirect that energy. Their collapse isn't random. It's the universe clearing the path for you. Affirm it out loud. The universe has handled it for me. I am free to move forward. Say it until it vibrates in your chest. Now let's get practical. You're in a world that doesn't get it. A world still spinning their lies, still shocked by the fall from grace. How do you keep your chosen identity intact when no one else sees what you see? Start with boundaries. Their chaos will try to pull you in, through gossip, through questions, through the endless chatter of a society obsessed with the spectacle. Don't engage. When someone asks, "Can you believe this?" or "Didn't they seem so perfect?" shrug it off. Say, "I saw it coming," and leave it there. You don't owe them an explanation. Next, anchor yourself daily. Sit quietly for 5 minutes, hands on your knees, and visualize a golden light wrapping around you. A shield that blocks their low-frequency mess and amplifies your high-frequency truth. This keeps you centered, untouchable, no matter how loud their collapse gets. The science backs you up here. Stress, guilt, arrogance, they trigger cortisol spikes, a biological crash that drags people down into fight-or-flight panic. You see it in their eyes now. The darting glances, the clenched jaws, the desperation leaking through their brave facade. But you're wired differently. Your nervous system, tuned to a higher vibration, thrives on coherence. Heart and mind aligned in certainty. When you lean into "the universe handled it for you," you're tapping into that coherence. Studies show this state lowers stress hormones and boosts resilience. Spiritually, it's your soul saying, "I've got this." Their world might be collapsing, but yours is expanding. Every crack in their foundation is a step up for you. What about the emotional weight? Their resignation, their vulnerability. It hits hard, doesn't it? You're not heartless. You feel the human cost of their fall. But here's the shift. Don't let it drown you. Use it. Take that pang of empathy and flip it into strength. Ask yourself, what did their arrogance teach you? What did their crimes show you about your own integrity? What did their illusions reveal about your clarity? Write it down, 3 lessons, straight and simple. Maybe it's, "I'll never compromise my truth," or "I trust my instincts over their lies." These aren't just thoughts. They're weapons, forged in the fire of their collapse, ready to carry you forward. This is how you turn their end into your beginning. Finally, own the mantra, "The universe handled it for you." This isn't passive. It's active surrender to a force bigger than their schemes, bigger than their courtroom, bigger than their crumbling empire. When the pressure mounts, when the news blares, when the whispers swirl, when their desperation tries to claw at your peace, say it out loud. "The universe handled it for me." Feel the relief flood in, the certainty lock into place. Then act on it. Move forward, take one step, any step, toward your mission. Call it out. I'm free to build, to create, to rise. Their world is done. Yours is just starting. This is your breakthrough, chosen one, the moment you stop fighting their battles and start winning your own. You don't need to celebrate. The universe handled it for you. The gavel slams, guilty echoes through the courtroom, and they exhale, but it's not relief. It's resignation. Their world is crumbling, every loophole closed, every backdoor escape sealed shut, and you're standing there, unshaken, receiving something far greater than their defeat. This is your high-dimensional download, chosen one. A flood of clarity, purpose, and power pouring straight into your soul. You're not here to cheer their downfall. You're here to prepare for what's next. The universe has cleared the debris of their arrogance, their crimes, their illusions, and now it's speaking to you directly. Are you ready to listen? This moment isn't random. When their lawyers scramble, grasping at straws with nothing left to salvage, you feel it. A shift, a signal from beyond the chaos. High-dimensional information doesn't come with fanfare. It arrives in the quiet, in the certainty that settles over you like a mantle. Science hints at this. Quantum entanglement suggests invisible connections bind us to forces we can't see, while neuroplasticity shows your brain rewires itself for higher awareness when you align with truth. Spiritually, this is your soul tuning into the frequency of the cosmos, downloading what you need to step fully into your mission. Their collapse isn't your victory lap. It's your launchpad. The universe handled it for you, and now it's handing you the reins. But how do you know what's real? How do you separate true high-dimensional messages from the noise of your own mind? Start here. Genuine downloads feel different. They hit you with a jolt of knowing, sharp, steady, undeniable. Not a fleeting wish or a comforting story you tell yourself. When their face turns pale, small, silent under the weight of their crimes, you don't imagine their fear. You sense it, like a current running through you. That's the signal. Self-projection, on the other hand, wavers. It's soft, muddy, laced with doubt or ego. To test it, ask, does this insight pull me toward clarity or tangle me in emotion? Does it demand I act or let me drift? High-dimensional truth always points you forward. Direct, unyielding, alive with purpose. Let's talk about the raw experience. Their lawyers scramble, papers flying, voices rising, but there's nothing left to salvage. Every loophole's closed, every escape route blocked, and they glance at the judge, the jury, the walls closing in. You see it. Their hands shaking, their eyes hollow, their once loud presence shrinking into something pale, small, silent. And you're not reveling in it. You're not gloating. You're standing there, steady, feeling the weight of their collapse ripple through you. Not as pain, not as triumph, but as a mirror. This is your emotional anchor. Shaking hands, hollow eyes, a visceral reminder of what happens when truth is ignored. Hold that image. Let it ground you. It's not about them. It's about you staying sharp, awake, attuned. Here's where it gets intense. Receiving these downloads isn't passive. It's a battle of focus. They're chaos, courtroom doors slamming, allies turning on them. The gavel's final thud kicks up a storm of low-frequency energy. Fear, desperation, denial. It's thick, suffocating, and it'll drag you down if you let it. But you won't. You're a chosen one, wired for this. Your job is to stay in that shaking hands, hollow eyes state. Not out of weakness, but out of power. It's the edge where you're raw enough to feel the signal, strong enough to hold it. Picture their collapse as a radio static fading out, leaving only the clear broadcast of the universe. Tune in. You don't need to celebrate their end. You need to harness what it's unlocking in you. Now, let's make this practical. You want to receive and decode these high-dimensional messages? Step 1. Ground your body. Their mess is a whirlwind. Anchor against it. Sit still, feet flat on the floor, hands open on your thighs. Breathe deep, slow, deliberate, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Feel your spine straighten, your energy settle. This pulls you out of their panic and into your frequency. Step 2. Sharpen your filter. When a thought hits, say, this was always their fate. Don't just accept it. Challenge it. Ask, does this feel expansive, like it's pushing me toward my mission? Or does it loop back to their drama? True downloads expand you. Projections shrink you. Write down what lands. Keep it short, fierce. I am called to lead. Not I knew they'd fall. Step 3. Amplify the signal. Their collapse is loud, but the universe is louder if you listen. After grounding, close your eyes and visualize a beam of light, golden, electric, streaming from the crown of your head to the stars. See it pulse, carrying their chaos up and out, bringing clarity back down. Ask one question. What do I need to know now? Don't force an answer. Wait, it might come as a word, justice, or a feeling, calm, strength, or an image. Their hollow eyes fading into your steady gaze. Trust it. Act on it. Maybe it's speak your truth today, or step into your power now. Whatever it is, it's yours, chosen one, straight from the source. The emotional weight of this moment can shake you. Their lawyers scrambling, their empire dissolving. It's not just a scene. It's a vibration. You feel their hands tremble, their eyes hollow out, and it's heavy. Don't run from it. Use it. That shaking hands, hollow eyes state is your crucible. It burns away doubt and forges certainty. Ask yourself, what does this teach me about my strength? Maybe it's that you've outlasted their lies, or that you've held your ground when they couldn't. This isn't about pitying them. It's about claiming your resilience. Their resignation is their surrender. Your stillness is your power. Hold that line. Let it fuel you. One more tool. Journal the downloads. Their world is done, yours is beginning. Grab a pen, set a timer for 5 minutes, and write whatever comes when you ask, what's the universe telling me through this? Don't edit. Don't judge. Let it flow messy, bold, real. Maybe it's you're free now, or their fall is my rise, or just keep going. These aren't random thoughts. They're transmissions, raw and direct. Look back later. You'll see the pattern. Every word, every nudge, building toward your mission. This is how you prepare for the universe handled it for you. Not by celebrating their end, but by decoding what's next for you. This high-dimensional connection isn't a gift you stumble into. It's a skill you master. Their collapse is the catalyst, stripping away the noise so you can hear the signal. Science says your brain thrives on coherence when stress clears. Spirituality says your soul aligns when illusions shatter. Together, they're telling you, this is your time. You don't need to dance on their grave, you need to rise from it. Their lawyers can scramble. Their loopholes can close. Their eyes can hollow out, but none of it defines you. What defines you is this. The universe handled it for you, and now it's downloading your next move. Stand tall. Listen hard. Act fast. You're not just a witness anymore, you're a warrior. You always knew this day would come. The gavel slams, the word guilty cuts through the air, and they exhale. Not with relief, but with resignation. Their empire of arrogance, built on the lie that they were untouchable, above the law, beyond consequence, crumbles in an instant. And you stand there, unshaken, watching it unfold with a certainty that's been burning in your soul since the beginning. This isn't their end, it's your beginning. Justice has spoken, and now it's time to bring that truth into reality, to forge a new era with the power that's always been yours. You're not just a witness, chosen one, you're the architect of what comes next. Let's start with the raw truth. Justice isn't a passive force. It's a hammer, and when it strikes, it shatters illusions. Their downfall, the high-profile arrest, the months of investigations, the paper trails and whistleblowers, wasn't chaos. It was precision. You saw it building, didn't you? Every sealed testimony, every betrayed ally turning to save themselves, every courtroom door slamming shut. It was inevitable. But here's the shift. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you taking that hammer, that unshakable verdict of justice has spoken, and wielding it to shape the world. You're not here to gawk at their collapse. You're here to build on its ashes. This is your mission, to make justice a living, breathing force through your actions. How do you do it? First, understand what justice has spoken means for you. It's not just a courtroom echo. It's a frequency, a vibration that aligns with your soul's purpose. When the gavel slammed, it didn't just condemn them, it activated you. Feel that moment. Their exhale, heavy with defeat, as the weight of their crimes finally pins them down. Now flip it. That same energy, the certainty, the finality, lives in you, but it's not resignation. It's resolve. To bring this into reality, start small but fierce. Speak your truth daily, out loud, to yourself, to the world. Say, justice has spoken, and I am its voice. Let it sink in. This isn't a wish, it's a declaration. You're claiming your role as the one who carries this forward, not with vengeance, but with vision. Next, become the example they never could be. They thought they were untouchable, above the law, beyond consequence. And look where it got them. Hollow-eyed, handcuffed, reduced to a mugshot. You're the opposite. You live consequence, not as punishment, but as power. Every choice you make, every step you take, screams accountability. Not to their rules, but to your mission. Want to practice this? Strip away one illusion from your life today. Maybe it's a doubt you've clung to, I'm not ready. Or a habit that dims your light. Cut it loose. Replace it with an action that proves you're touchable only by truth, governed only by purpose, answerable only to the universe. They fell because they defied consequence. You'll rise because you embrace it. This isn't abstract, it's concrete. Let's break it down. To embody, they thought they were untouchable. You need a personal code. Write it now, 3 rules that define your stand. Mine might be, I speak what I see. I act when I know. I bend to no lie. Yours could be different, but make them sharp, unbreakable, yours. Live them. When someone challenges you, doubts your vision, mocks your certainty, don't flinch. Look them in the eye and say, I know where this ends. Not out of arrogance, but out of the same certainty that carried you through their collapse. You're not above the law, you're beyond their version of it, operating on a higher plane where justice isn't a threat but a promise. Now, the balance. How do you keep your head steady when the mission burns this hot? Their fall is heavy. The flashing cameras, the allies scattering, the once mighty shrinking into silence. It stirs you. Anger at their crimes, relief at their exposure, maybe even a flicker of pity for their resignation. Feel it all, but don't drown in it. Here's how. Anchor your emotions to your purpose. When the weight hits, ask one question. How does this serve my mission? If their arrogance fuels your resolve, use it. If their vulnerability softens you, let it sharpen your compassion, but only enough to keep you human, not enough to pull you off course. Breathe through it, 4 seconds in, 6 out. Picture their chaos as a wave crashing against your rock-solid core. You don't move. You don't break. You stand. Science backs this up. Emotional regulation isn't just spiritual fluff, it's neurology. When you focus on purpose, your prefrontal cortex lights up, calming the amygdala's knee-jerk reactions. Their collapse spikes adrenaline in the air. Your balance turns it into fuel. Spiritually, this is your high-frequency state kicking in, where light workers and starseeds thrive. You're not just surviving their mess, you're transmuting it. Try this. At the end of each day, name one emotion their downfall triggered, anger, certainty, whatever, and write how it pushed you forward. Maybe their resignation reminded you to stand taller. That's not weakness, that's alchemy. You're turning their lead into your gold. Let's get to the heart of it, your mission path. This is where you always knew this day would come becomes your blueprint. You didn't just predict their end, you foresaw your rise. Build that plan now. Step 1. Define your new era. What does it look like? Not their world of lies and loopholes, but yours, truth-driven, justice-forged. Maybe it's a community you lead, a truth you spread, a system you dismantle. Name it. Step 2. Map the actions. Break it into 3 moves, today, this week, this month. Today, you declare your code. This week, you cut one illusion. This month, you take one bold step. Speak publicly, start a project, call out a lie. Make it real. Make it yours. Step 3. Lock in the certainty. They thought months of investigations, paper trails, whistleblowers, sealed testimonies, would save them. You know better. That same relentless force now drives you. Visualize it. Every day, see yourself standing where they fell, not gloating, but building. See the gavel slam, hear guilty, feel their exhale, but then see yourself turn, step forward, create. This isn't hope, it's knowing. You've carried this vision forever, chosen one. Now it's time to live it. Affirm it daily. I always knew this day would come, and I'm ready. Say it until your bones hum with it. Their vulnerability stings, doesn't it? They don't want you to see it. The trembling hands, the hollow eyes, but you do. And you don't need to celebrate. The universe handled it for you, and that's enough. Let their resignation be their burden. Your mission is lighter, fiercer, brighter. You're not here to linger in their shadows. You're here to cast your own light. Start today. One truth spoken. One illusion shattered. One step taken. Justice has spoken, and you're the one bringing it to life. This is your era. Claim it. And so, chosen one, as their empire lies in ruins and the echoes of justice reverberate through the hollow chambers of their once unassailable world, you stand not as a mere observer but as a beacon of what is to come. Their fall is not your triumph to savor. It is your summons to rise, to weave truth into the fabric of a fractured reality, to embody the mission etched into your soul from the beginning. You were never meant to dwell in the wreckage. You were forged to build anew, to carry the flame of clarity where shadows once reigned, to prove with every step that the universe chose you not just to see, but to shape what others cannot yet imagine.